Hello guys, my name is Negacious, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. In the last episode we were going to the dorms at the evening, trying to get some sleep and ready to wake up to another day, where we ran into our armless artist, Rin, and talked with her for a while just about this and that. Then we got a good night's sleep and went to the track in the morning to get some light exercise, but ended up having a light heart attack, I suppose, after we started a race with Emmy. And now we are in the nurse's room resting to make sure that our arrhythmia doesn't go south. So let's see how it's going to proceed. A thoroughly miserable Emmy comes in after getting an earful from the nurse in the other room. I couldn't hear what he said through the closed door, but I'm sure it wasn't pleasantries.
Look, I'm really sorry. I should have been more careful.
Hey, you didn't know. It's not your fault. She looks awfully down and sorry, and my reassurances don't do anything much to cheer her up.
I want to make it up to you.
Again, with a decisive nod.
So you have to come to lunch with me.
Okay, I hope you're treating.
I'll bring it for you, okay? Something really good.
I start with that you don't have to, but then shut up and just nod at her when I see her face.
Good.
We meet on the roof. On the roof? Okay. We?
Yep, the weather's nice now, so the roof's a great spot for lunch, you know?
I see. This throat is... Jesus Christ.
You'll come, right? You wouldn't deny me the chance to make it up to you.
Of course not.
Great, see you there.
Okay, so we are going to have lunch with Emmy. I stay afloat somewhere between sleep and awake, feeling completely drained. Not only my body, but all of me is limp and paralyzed, apart from my senses. I swallow with difficulty and then try to lie as still as I can, which in this state is not a very hard thing to do. Also, let me lower the sound a little bit. That should be good. The nurse is shuffling around on the other side of the curtains he drew to give me privacy. I can see his shadow shifting about in the sunlight. He has opened a window in his office. It's windy outside. The clean white curtains flutter in the breeze in a heavy, lazy motion, like waves. Light sifts through them slowly, half absorbing into the fabric. I close my eyes. The breeze on my face feels like a soft fabric of the curtains. I listen to the sound of my heartbeat for a moment, trying to shut out the sound of the nurse tapping away on his computer and my own heavy breathing. It's steady. Damn it, not even a week and I end up like this again. I really screwed up this time. Should have known better than to play the half-baked sports star in front of a real one. And why did I try to act brave, like that heart flutter was no big deal, even when it was obviously what it was? It was just a reflex, to push it away, to keep it inside. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want Emmy to see it. Stupid. I have to be more careful or I'll end up in the hospital again, or worse. That was my final thought before I gave in to the tiredness. So we're actually gonna go asleep here, okay. I fell asleep. For how long? What time is it? I'm feeling a little lightheaded and I keep blinking compulsively. Pushing the curtain aside, I squint my eyes against the unfiltered light pouring in from the window. The texture of the canvas feels nothing like the wind did before. The nurse looks up from his work, sitting exactly where he was before.
How are you feeling?
I can't really tell, so I don't answer him anything. I'm feeling kinda groggy from falling asleep at such a weird time. Hopefully I don't look too weird. What time is it? Me croaking the question to gain some orientation. The nurse looking at his wristwatch before answering. Things seem to happen in slow motion. Quarter past 10. I try to think for a moment what that means, but I'm not really sure. You didn't answer my question, Hisao. Oh, fine. Climb down from the bed then. Let's see how you're doing. Don't... Whoa. I tried to do exactly that, only to sway dizzily when I moved too fast. The nurse moved to support me by an arm and sighs. Stand up too quickly, is what I'm going to say. Just sit there. I'll check your pressure to make sure. My good intentions sure lasted a long time. I shut up, embarrassed with myself, while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption at my arm. After a couple of minutes, he puts it away, looking neither pleased nor unhappy. You're alright. Head stopped spinning? Yeah. Good. And how are the contents doing? You didn't show very good judgment out there, Hisao. I swallowed the retort I was going to make. It's what I was thinking myself, but hearing it stated by somebody else makes me want to protest. What he's saying is not pleasant to hear. Doesn't make him any less right. No, sir. He nods, still looking as neutral as he was before. It would be easy to be angry at him if he said, "Told you so" or something, but he doesn't. I can try and help you keep your health, but ultimately the last call lies with you. Hopefully this little episode will be something that'll remind you of that. Here, a note for your teacher, to avoid an interrogation. I take the slip of paper he's offering and then make my leave as I can't think of anything else to say, nor even really want to. Stay out of trouble, you hear me? I don't think it was anything but a scare, but next time could be different. I hear you. There is some way to get to the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly get lost, so I go out from the exit that I know works. I stop at the stairs of the auxiliary building, deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms to get my books and stuff, and going straight away to class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head toward the dorms. The halls are quiet as the courtyard was, naturally so, since everyone is in class. I knock lightly at the door of 3-3, and push open the door when Muto calls from the other side. Sorry I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn to me. Good morning, Nakai. Muto seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming in late, as if I interrupted his flow or something. Judging from the rambling lectures his classes tend to be, that might be the case. I pass him the note the nurse gave me. Muto takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrows and gives me a kind of stern look, but doesn't say anything, just nods solemnly again. I shrug, and he gestures at me to running along, so I naturally do. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I have even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overly attentive. The first days I was pretty high-strung in class. Muto finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without a pause about the festival. So as you know, the festival is on a day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday. Please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds. Games and fried food! Everyone bursts out in laughter, and so do I. Yeah, that was Misha, but I can't do Misha's voice right now, I'm sorry. Not with this throat. Yes, thank you, Mikado. The remainder of his sentence is buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Mito deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and... It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in this school will probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down to the cafeteria. Normally, I'd join the flow and grab a lunch myself. I'm sorry about that. Normally, I'd join the flow and grab lunch for myself, but today is different. Today, I've been invited to lunch on the roof. Oh yeah, with Emmy. An odd location, but that's where I was told to go. Fortunately, I managed to find shelter from the storm in the lee of the classroom door. Eventually, the torrent subsides, and I step tentatively out into the hallway. Only to be met by Emmy, who comes flouncing down the hallway like a cannonball. Hey, she's actually wearing her school outfit. That's the first time we've seen her wear that, actually. Hey, hi, that's... God damn it, that's Misha. Hey, hi, Hisao. Great timing. I have a super extra lunch today, as promised. Let's go upstairs. Oh, cool. This is... this is the kind of... like on those old... store flats, the kind of, the back room entrance kind of feel. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated. Jesus Christ, dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Cool. Emmy shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. And that's going to be... I do wonder who that is. Yeah, no arms, so that's... Rin. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Amy flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs.
Hello. Yipes, you scared me, Rin.
Wait, isn't she...
Hello.
Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Amy looks curiously at me.
You two know each other?
I look confusedly at Emmy.
She's that friend of yours?
Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. Also, I like how the combination is no arms and no legs.
I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. ...
The awkward silence lasts for only a few seconds, and then Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off.
I invited Hisao for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for 3.
Nice thinking. Also, I noticed both of their eyes, both Emmy and Rin have emerald green eyes. I just noticed it now when they were standing side by side. They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups to avoid the quadrangle and at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of a big metropolis seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly I haven't had time to think about how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear cerulean sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. Amy settles on a bench with Rin in tow and produces one big and two small lunchboxes from her bag.
Come on, Hisao, what are you waiting for?
She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on it. Impressive view, impressive view. Amy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Rin and hands another lunchbox to me.
Here you go, lunch as promised.
Homemade no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good.
Thanks, I make it myself when I can.
Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a forkful of food into her mouth, using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I am in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I can't decide if getting used to is such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Amy tearing into her lunch, as if it had insulted her ancestors. You seem pretty hungry. Amy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding.
My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. What would happen if you'd lose it? Would you become a man?
Rin, no, that's not how it works. Jesus Christ. Also, I didn't mention this, but I love how nonchalantly Rin always blurts out those remarks. That's one reason why I'm starting to like her more and more. I very nearly choke on my lunch, trying not to laugh.
It's a figure.
Jesus Christ, why is Misha invading my speech today?
It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too?
Do you always talk like this?
Talk like what? Like what?
I think that answers my question. Never mind. I struggle to think of a small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Rin seems content to let Emi answer this question.
Someone in the housing department thought we'd complement each other. Well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another.
Complement each other?
Like shoes in a suit. Like shoes in a suit.
Huh? Emi giggles at my confusion. Yeah, I mentioned this before, how I like the combination of the two.
Put us together and we've got all our limbs, get it?
Ah.
So I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along.
I see. Rin chooses this moment to interject.
I have trouble with shirts.
Right, this seems fairly obvious.
Really?
Kind of. This isn't helping, but at least Emi seems to find the whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious, makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms. So, putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what, I'm just going to stop talking now. It will save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner.
I see.
The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to the lunch. It's really quite good. Emi finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise.
Ah, that was good.
As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up.
I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that, sorry.
With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with a pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of the box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I didn't think either Emi or Rin are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure.
So, Hisao, how do you like it up here?
It's quite nice, actually. I like high places for the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. Emi grins a 1000-watt grin, pleased by my response, I suppose.
No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here.
No lunch service? I don't know. Emi looks mock offended.
Trying to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve!
She giggles. These two are so wonderfully positive, it makes me all bubbly and happy inside.
Well, if that's your answer, I guess Rin and I will just keep eating lunch all alone.
I'm suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emi pouts. Kidding, I was kidding. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, and the company's okay too. Emi frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs.
Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away.
No. Rin shrugs, as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we'd better get going. The three of us head back down the stairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of the books I finished earlier. I finished reading. I'm guessing we're gonna run into Hanako there. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident that from the almost total silence enveloping the room. Damn. I thought she hit her head again. As I drop the books I'd borrowed into the return slot in the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Sorry Yuko, didn't mean to startle you.
No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you?
It's okay. I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do, and after reading so much during my stay at the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wander down to the fiction section towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was there, not really expecting anything to come of it. And she's here. Surprisingly, though, she is there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding research material. After an indiscernible amount of time perusing the ales, I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. And that's where we are going to drop this episode of Katawa Shoujo, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, please hit that like button, that subscribe button as well, and feel free to comment down below anything. Any constructive criticism is okay. But yeah, my name was Negacious, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.